Hi, everybody. Welcome to the support video on starting new paragraphs. How do you know when to start a new paragraph? So bear with me. This might seem kind of random right now, but trust me, it will be relevant to what we're doing. So just bear with me for about 2 minutes. So how do you know when to start a new paragraph? So as I've asked you, is our question. So paragraphs have nothing to do with length. In fact, a paragraph can be 1 word long. A paragraph can be 20 pages long. It could be 1 word long. It has nothing to do with length. You start a new paragraph when the topic changes. Now, that's complicated, and there's a lot of different ways that topics can change. But let's just talk about one way the topics change today. So when the speaker in a text changes, that's considered a new topic. So a new paragraph should be started. So let me give you an example. From Rattlebag, Click Clack the Rattlebag. There are a lot of really short paragraphs in Click Clack the Rattlebag, so let's look at it. So you can see here, there are 7 paragraphs on this page. This is just a little section from the story. In fact, this is the part of the story that has to do with the show what you know question number 1. And notice that it's 2 people talking. Right? It's the man and the boy talking. And every time, for instance, the first line here, but you do write scary stories, that's the boy talking. The man says, yes. So the boy, it flips back to the boy in the boy's point of view. The boy looked up at me from the shadows by the door where he was waiting. Do you know any stories about Click Clack the Rattlebag? And that's the boy talking. The man says, I don't think so. Notice every time the speaker changes, it's a new paragraph. That's the change of a topic. And that's also why there are so many paragraphs in this story, because a lot of the story is 2 people talking. So I do want to point out to you a couple different ways that we can show new paragraphs starting. So if you see here, as we have in our story, Click Clack the Rattlebag, sometimes publishers decide to show a change in paragraphs by just inserting blank lines between the paragraphs. So that's what you can see here. And you can see where the red arrow is. There are blank lines between the paragraphs, but you do not indent the paragraph. If you don't know what indent is, then just bear with me for a second because I'm going to show you. So one way we show a new paragraph is to insert blank lines between each paragraph. Another way we do that is to not do blank lines between them, to have the paragraphs just right up against each other, but to indent. So that's a space over about a ½ an inch to an inch. It depends. We don't do both. We don't indent and do a blank line. We do one or the other. And it's a little bit of a style thing, what the publisher wants, what the author wants, but those are the 2 ways. But I do want to point something quickly out. If you are using the paragraph method where you indent, you always use the tab key, never the space key. A little known thing about space keys is they don't always space the same amount. So hitting the space key 5 times in one place, if you go somewhere else in your document and hit it 5 times, it may not be the same distance. I know it's a surprising thing, but it's not. But the tab key is always the same distance. So if you want to indent, use the tab key. So that's our little lesson on when to start new paragraphs, and also will help you answer question number 1 of your show what you know. As always, ask me if you have questions.